guys, I'm back for another video. Today I want to talk about pleasurable dining for residents in long-term care or retirement homes. So in Canada we have standards. We have to follow food and nutrition services in long-term care. Basically this means we follow the Canada's food guide. Food should be palatable, nutritious, and appealing. There's so often food that does not look like this, and this does not have to be the case. There's lots of different long-term care homes or retirement homes that have shown that you can be really good at making food for your residents, and it's making the other places look pretty bad. You can garnish their food. Please garnish their food. You guys, if I've been blurry this whole time, I'm gonna be very upset. The residents are allowed choice. If they don't like the food they are offered, they can complain about that. They have a right to do that. There's different ways they can complain. There's like residents council, so the residents can bring it up there, or there's like forms they can fill out. Their family could fill them out. There's family council, so if a family's concerned about it, they could bring it up as well. Or if you have good relationship with the dietary aides, the nutritionist or the dietitian, whoever you have in your nursing home, you can just talk to them about it and suggest some things. And it's better to have it in writing, of course, if you actually want to see something done, but it depends on your situation. Residents have to be offered 3 meals and 3 snacks a day in Canada, although this page is from 2010, so I'm sorry if it's a little outdated, but I'm trying my best. So PSWs have to help the residents not only at the meals, but also during their snacks, because there's certain residents that cannot feed themselves. They may need help using a cup. They might need help actually eating the food. They might just need a straw. There's assistive devices. So those are things like nosy cups, divided plates, and non-slip mats. There's also silverware that has extra big knobs on the end to make it easier for people to grab onto and who have mobility issues to get it to their mouth. Most cups have lids on them so that the fluids aren't spilling out regularly on them. Always describe the dish to the residents. Don't just start feeding them. Tell them what they're eating, because sometimes they can't see, sometimes they can't hear. So there has to be a way that you can communicate what they're eating so they're aware of what they're eating. Oftentimes you will start the meal by walking around with sample plates. You'll have 2 different plates because the residents always have a different option. We try to just give them those 2 options, and if they don't like that, we give them something else like a sandwich or whatever chef can do in the kitchen. So you go around with 2 physical plates so they can actually see what stuff looks like. For anybody that can't see, you try to explain. I'm really unsure of the ones that have hearing and sight issues. I haven't really encountered that yet. There's some people with some bad sight that don't have hearing, but I'll like give them a little taste, see if they like it. If they like it, we go on to the next one. You know, you give them what they're liking and don't give them what they're not liking. So plates with barriers allow residents to scoop towards that barrier and up. Otherwise, the food doesn't end up on their utensil, and typically it just falls off or falls onto the floor or onto their lap. So it gives them the scoop. Sometimes you can have pillows to support arms if they have issues holding an arm up and that's all they need. You can even guide their hand to help them eat. That's one of the best ways. Concentrate on that resident and them eating. You need to watch them swallow. As soon as you see them swallow, you know that the food's probably not in their mouth anymore. And you can give them another bite. When they go to open, make sure there's no more food in that mouth. They can pocket. They're pocketing and keeping it in their cheeks, and they're not really swallowing it, and they're gonna be at risk of choking. Don't talk to your coworkers too much when you're feeding the residents unless it's for something important, because you need to make sure that that resident's not gonna choke. And encourage their independence. Don't just feed a resident when they do have ability to feed themselves and they're just struggling. Try to help them the best you can. I know you're short-staffed. I know there's not a lot of people around to help you feed. Remember to only feed 2 residents at a time. You should not be feeding more than 2 residents at a time. That puts them at risk of choking. There's been times where you're so short-staffed that that's sometimes not the case. Just make sure you're protecting yourself. Refuse to feed more than 2 people at once. So when somebody has a risk of dysphagia, which is when they can't really swallow anymore, their tongue muscles are not working, they're at risk of choking, the texture modifications for them are regular, chopped, moist minced, or pureed. The 3 different liquid textures are thickened nectar, thickened honey, and thickened pudding. So those are all things you will expect to see when you're getting the food from the dining people and handing it to the residents and feeding them. Sometimes PSWs even make the food and then serve, so it really depends on your nursing home. So yeah, if you have a separate dietary department to your nursing home, try to go to them with your food concerns. If you're in charge of providing food for the residents, then just take as much notes as you can on pleasurable dining. This video is kind of difficult without showing you actual examples, so I'm sorry. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments. I'm probably better at answering questions than making videos sometimes. So I will see you guys in another video. Goodbye.